faithfully conveying value, exploring global literature. Hi, this is Sally's Book Club. Today we're exploring Know Yourself, Accept Yourself, a guide to self-improvement and finding happiness. In modern society, almost everyone strives to better themselves, dieting for ideal bodies, reading to cultivate eloquence, developing emotional intelligence to be more likable. But often you'll find some flaws persist despite your efforts. This creates anxiety that grows with our striving. If this resonates, this book offers solutions. Its core premise: happiness requires embracing imperfections, not eradicating them. Some traits simply can't be changed through willpower alone. Thus, to achieve happiness, we must distinguish changeable from unchangeable aspects of ourselves. Then focus energy on what can change, while accepting what can't. The author is renowned psychologist Martin Seligman. How groundbreaking is Seligman? Let's start with his academic journey. In 1964, during his PhD at University of Pennsylvania, Seligman discovered learned helplessness through animal experiments. This revelation shook the psychology world. Learned helplessness means developing resignation from past failures, leading us to surrender even when change is possible. Through this research, Seligman found cognitive shifts could overcome helplessness. This pivot birthed positive psychology, studying happiness enhancement. Seligman's work earned him the title Father of Positive Psychology. He became APA president with historic voting support. Our channel previously covered The Happiness Hypothesis by Seligman's student Tal Ben-Shahar. To date, Seligman has published 21 books. Today's book, Know Yourself, Accept Yourself, is one of his foundational works in positive psychology. Let's explore the book's core ideas through two perspectives. First, what can we change, what can't we change, and why? Second, examining common negative emotions. Can they be altered? Now let's dive into the first part. Changeable versus unchangeable aspects. Why do we believe perseverance guarantees success? This leads us to think any flaw can be fixed through effort. But Seligman challenges this view, highlighting genetic and biological constraints. First, genetic influence is more profound than we realize. Take family of origin as prime example. Many blame adult struggles on childhood trauma or parenting styles. Consider Patty Davis, Reagan's daughter, America's most rebellious first daughter. She dropped out to pursue rock lifestyle, shocked world with Playboy photo shoot. Davis blamed her parents' loving marriage for neglecting her. Seligman disputes this perspective. While childhood shapes adult personality and behavior patterns, genes outweigh upbringing in defining who you are. Studies of twins separated at birth demonstrate this. Despite different upbringings, they share remarkable similarities. Brand preferences, career choices, even taste in romantic partners align. Beyond genetics, Seligman identified another barrier to change through clinical research: biological mechanisms. Weight loss exemplifies this. Many believe willpower alone ensures success. Failed diets are often blamed on overeating. Yet some people struggle to lose weight despite minimal eating, sometimes even gaining weight. This paradox stems from evolutionary survival mechanisms. When starved, our bodies slow metabolism to conserve fat reserves. Thus, biological programming links reduced intake to slower metabolism. Our genetic blueprint determines natural weight range. Long-term weight control through dieting proves biologically challenging. However, genes don't dictate everything. Biological psychiatry reveals about 50% of personality isn't hereditary. These aspects remain changeable. So how do we distinguish changeable from fixed traits? Seligman proposes a three-question framework. First, is this trait inherited? Second, can your perspective be easily disproven? Third, how entrenched is the underlying belief? Reiterating the first question, genetic origin. As established, genetically or biologically rooted traits resist change. Body weight regulation exemplifies biological constraints against dieting's limited long-term effectiveness. Conversely, environmentally acquired traits prove more malleable. Consider panic disorder. Symptoms include breathlessness, palpitations, sweating. Patients often experience overwhelming dread of dying, affecting 5% of American adults, according to surveys. Historically viewed as hereditary with distinct brain structures, psychologists discovered panic disorder patients' dying sensations stem from cardiac misinterpretation, psychological cognition flaws, not actual physiology. While heart disease symptoms can be hereditary, panic disorder itself isn't inherited. Thus, 90% recovery occurs through cognitive restructuring about cardiac health. Second, can your belief be easily disproven? Easily disproven beliefs create stubborn problems. Hard to disprove beliefs allow easier solutions. Common fears illustrate this: animal phobias, nyctophobia, acrophobia, or germ-related compulsive hand washing. These fears can severely disrupt lives. Motivating change attempts. Effective treatment involves demonstrating the feared object's actual safety. Snake phobias persist because danger proofing is hard. Hand washing obsessions ease through contamination evidence. Thus, compulsive hand washing proves more treatable. Third, how powerful is the underlying belief? Stronger beliefs weaken change confidence. Weaker confidence perpetuates the issue. How to gauge belief strength? Seligman suggests measuring beliefs' applicability scope. Broader application indicates stronger conviction. Example: believing yourself unlovable explains all life problems. Bosses ignoring you, colleagues excluding you, parents disapproving, all proof of unlovability. Such pervasive beliefs become change resistant. But truly resist change. Seligman lists gender identity, sexual orientation, obesity, alcoholism, PTSD as examples. Let's examine post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, as an example. Life-altering traumas can create deep wounds that resist healing due to powerful underlying beliefs. Imagine a mother losing her child. Her worldview shatters, perceiving the world as cruel and joyless forever. Seligman notes this pessimistic worldview finds constant validation. Daily news reinforces this perception with endless tragedies. Current PTSD treatments, medication, trauma narration, muscle relaxation show limited effectiveness. So, how should we approach unchangeable realities? Seligman advises peaceful acceptance, redirecting resources to changeable areas. We've established the changeable or unchangeable distinction. Now, let's focus on negative emotions. Can we alter them? This brings us to our second key discussion point. Seligman argues complete elimination of negative emotions is impossible. Evolutionarily, many negative emotions serve protective functions. Fear sometimes misidentifies harmless things as threats. Seligman developed mayonnaise phobia after food poisoning incident. This fear connects to primal survival mechanisms. Our ancestors faced lethal food dangers regularly. Avoiding hazardous substances became crucial for survival. Humans evolved rapid aversion learning capability. Single negative experience creates lasting food avoidance. Such evolution-rooted fears prove particularly stubborn. Secondly, beliefs behind negative emotions often withstand scrutiny. Thus, negative emotions resist change. Simply put, your anxieties often find real-world confirmation. Modern anxiety frequently stems from security deprivation. Some maintain constant vigilance, believing the world unsafe. This mindset proves difficult to counter-argue. Example: nighttime agoraphobia, proving nighttime safety challenges logic, as crime statistics support nocturnal risks. Third, negative emotions' pervasive applicability. Depression from failure contaminates all life aspects. I'm a failure becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. While we can't eliminate negativity, Seligman suggests proactive management strategies. Practical psychological methods can mitigate daily emotional challenges. Let's explore applying positive psychology to three common negatives: anxiety, depression, anger. First, addressing anxiety, nearly universal human experience. Regardless of social status or relationship status, anxiety touches everyone. Does all anxiety require medical intervention? Must every case involve medication or therapy? Not necessarily. First requires reframing our understanding. When do you typically experience anxiety? Example, workplace rumors about layoffs causing job security fears, or spouses' late returns triggering suspicion and restlessness. Here, anxiety serves as warning signal, indicating life areas needing adjustment. But irrational anxieties disrupt normal functioning. How do we distinguish unnecessary anxiety? Seligman proposes three criteria: rationality, paralysis intensity, and severity. Rationality examines if anxiety has valid justification. Unfounded anxiety indicates overreaction. Example, anxiety over colleagues' unexplained dismissal is reasonable, but losing sleep over unverified bankruptcy rumors isn't. Second criterion, paralysis. Does anxiety inhibit action, like writers withholding submissions due to rejection fears? This demonstrates paralyzing anxiety. Final criterion, intensity. Anxiety saturation in daily life. Self-assessment questions help gauge intensity. Do you constantly feel like a failure? Do you frequently doubt your capabilities? Seligman emphasizes holistic evaluation of these three factors. When anxiety severely disrupts life and causes paralysis, active anxiety reduction becomes crucial. Seligman recommends two primary methods: progressive relaxation and meditation. Progressive relaxation involves tensing then relaxing muscle groups, 10 minutes twice daily. Second method, meditation. Over 20 million Americans practice meditation, including Gates and Bryant. The research shows meditation reduces fatigue and enhances cognitive function. Regular meditators have 50% lower disease incidence. Low-dose sedatives can help but carry dependency risks. Seligman prioritizes non-pharmaceutical approaches long-term. All right, having discussed anxiety, let's address another common emotion: depression. The term depression has become frequent in media discourse recently. HITCHO data shows over 300 million people globally suffer from depression. Seligman defines depression as helplessly watching despair approach without recourse. Depression manifests through cognitive, emotional, and physical symptoms. First, examining cognitive patterns. Distinct in depression sufferers, depressed individuals compulsively seek evidence of personal failure. Even successes feel like luck, never genuine achievement. Second symptom, pervasive negative emotions. Initial anxiety and darkness progresses to emotional numbness in severe cases. Third symptom, behavioral paralysis and avoidance tendencies. Example, depressed patient hung up when asked pizza preferences. Fourth symptom, physical manifestations like appetite loss. Current treatments, medication, ECT, interpersonal or cognitive therapies. Biological treatments act fast but carry significant side effects. 25% patients discontinue medications due to side effects. High relapse rates. Seligman favors interpersonal and cognitive approaches long term. Interpersonal therapy examines social conflict origins. It identifies dysfunctional relationship patterns for emotional release. And example, a girl depressed after boyfriend's infidelity gets guided to analyze relationship failure causes and express anger. Therapist then helps adapt to single life through social connection building. Therapists address social skills via role playing and strength identification. Life transitions like retirement or parenthood often trigger depressive episodes. Therapists assist in role adaptation and social skill enhancement. Cognitive therapy, Seligman's recommended approach, restructures thought patterns to alter perception. Depression warps thinking with pessimistic dominance. Case study, mother's daily shouting matches over school attendance. Post-conflict guilt. I'm unfit to mother. Cognitive therapy reframed this as methodology error, not maternal failure. Technique involves evidential rebuttal and perspective restructuring. The mother collected evidence contradicting her negative self-view. Quality time, attentive care, temporary frustration over school refusal. Finally, let's address anger management. Modern life's pressures make people quick-tempered. Trivial matters often trigger disproportionate rage. Traditional wisdom suggested suppressing anger. But psychologists warn chronic suppression causes hypertension, heart disease, even cancer. This doesn't justify uncontrolled outbursts either. Academic consensus on anger management remains elusive. Seligman proposes three-dimensional approach: psychological, physiological, behavioral. First, cognitive restructuring. When feeling violated, pause for 10 seconds. Use this time for perspective shifting visualization. Example: imagine office bully as rolling fat man, or empathize with their position. Second, physiological regulation through deep breathing and muscle relaxation. Regular meditation, progressive relaxation, prevents anger accumulation. Third, constructive action after emotional stabilization. Seligman's self-affirmation technique. Describe, express, specify, consequence. Describe factually, express feelings, specify requests, state consequences. Real-life example. Woman finds messy home while husband watches TV. Angry outburst. You never help! Is this household mine alone? Using Seligman's self-affirmations method, one could respond: I asked for help with chores last time. Factual description. Their inattention makes me feel hurt. Emotional expression. Next time, please tidy proactively. Specific request. Otherwise, I'll feel overwhelmed. Consequence clarification. This structured approach prevents conflict while easing personal distress. We've now covered core concepts of know yourself, accept yourself. Seligman's thesis: happiness comes from balancing change and acceptance. 3 diagnostic questions. 1. Genetic origin. 2. Easily verifiable belief. 3. Powerful underlying conviction. For unchangeables, combine therapeutic symptom management with radical acceptance to redirect energy effectively. Negative emotions persist but become manageable. We explored 3 major emotional challenges: anxiety, depression, anger, all addressable through cognitive therapy. This concludes our exploration of Seligman's work. Study notes available below. Until next time.